Why mystery creates addicting art. Let's see what this is about.
There's a strange thing about art that makes people addicted. It's relatability, but it's not the artist's deep secrets or their raw authenticity that makes it relatable. It's that the art made you feel understood without the artist even knowing you personally. The artists who create this kind of work are not trying to be relatable in the way you think about it. They're doing something much more subtle and honestly much more powerful.
What
They're
they doing?
creating mirrors.
Ooh.
Most artists think being relatable means being personal, but they're missing something fundamental. Something about the difference between being seen and being understood. You try to pour yourself into the work thinking, if people know my struggle, they'll connect. But what happens is the opposite. Your art becomes a therapy session instead of a mirror. You start performing for the critic in your head. Your art stops being art and becomes a form of damage control. You're so busy managing what people might think that you forget what you feel. You think, people won't understand this unless I tell them exactly what I was going through when I made it. But then your art is only about managing your audience's perceptions, not about creating an emotional experience that actually resonates. What happens is you end up sharing your therapy session instead of building a genuine connection.
Yes, you bro, you gotta make them feel something, bro. Good art makes you I always say good art makes you feel something. It makes you reflect on your own life and it allows your soul to shine.
And I used to do this all the time, especially when I designed for creators on Instagram. I used to pour my entire psychological state into every post, thinking vulnerability meant transparency. But I was really just asking strangers to bear the weight of my need to be understood. And that kind of desperate oversharing destroys the very connection you're trying to create. I was asking them to be my therapist instead of just appreciating the work.
You was asking them to listen to your problems, woe is me, instead of just giving them something to bob their heads to, something to make them feel good. Nobody wants to. That is true. Art is a form of reality, a mirror, but it's also a form of escapism too. Nobody like when you open the internet, you don't want to get on the internet and see how shitty of a person you are, how better everybody's lives is. And you want to escape from that world of perfection and goodness, and you want to see realities that make you feel good. You want to see videos that make you feel good. You want to hear songs that make you feel good. There's a reason why Drake is still number one over Kendrick in terms of sales records and all these things, because Kendrick is more conscious. He's more of talking about the dark realities. Drake is more of let go, let's feel good, let's let go of our feelings, let's live in the moment type shit. So it makes sense why pop is more mainstream than hip hop and rap and all that.
Never realizing that people enjoy art that reflects their own identity and memories, not someone else's. People don't want to carry your own individual truth. They want to discover their own through your experience. Indeed. Your personal stories won't make people relate to you. They only connect when the story reminds them of themselves. Seeing
or outside of reminding them of themselves, we also as humans want what we can't have. There's a reason why, Duke Dennis, for instance, perfect example. He seems to always be the man of the hour and talk of the town. A lot of people can't really relate to Duke Dennis, at least in the way his lifestyle is now. They can't relate. They can relate to how he used to be versus where he is now, and they see themselves wanting to be in that position one day, so they can look at it like in a sense of, yo, he was just like me one day. Like, for instance, he was kind of in the exact same position as me one day, but worse, and we're from the same state. So that's another. But his lifestyle now, I'm not relating to as much because, this nigga is whatever he's doing, right? He's going crazy. Well, I am relating, right? But you know what I'm saying? Most people can't, but we want what we can't have. So it's looking at other art and people in those art forms that live such a great life that you aspire to live. I guess, yeah, he's right, though, because that is you, because it's inspiring you to push yourself. Yeah, he's right. It all goes back to you. It's a mirror.
Someone is different from understanding them. It's not about how many people see your personal story. It's about how many people can see their own reflection in your art. But there's something else going on here. Something I didn't see until I stopped.
J. Cole is my favorite rapper of all time, and that's because at least in my early life, I'm still am very humble. But I was very humble, nonchalant, and I feel like I didn't believe in myself. And sometimes you get those messages from his childhood that he didn't believe in himself. So I had free forms like J. Cole. I dressed like J. Cole. That is true.
Trying so hard to be understood.
Wow, you don't. He's right. You don't. I don't relate to J. Cole. Well, I do relate to J. Cole because our stories are similar in the come up. But also, I relate to J. Cole because of his art is so good that in the fabrics of his art, by him being putting himself in the art, like as an artist, you put yourself in the art. It speaks to you in ways that you can't put into words. So yo, this video is deep, bro.
As I mentioned earlier, your art must be a mirror, so people see themselves and come to their own answers. But that's harder than you think. That's why you need to understand what's happening in people's brains when they connect with art. Your brain is always looking for itself. It's
Am I? Yes, that is true. Because the videos, the parts of this video I've connected with the most so far and commented on was parts I could relate to. Like I just paused the video just now because I saw what was it, J. Cole? I saw J. Cole. Yeah, I saw J. Cole and I paused the video because that's somebody I can relate to. I'm always looking for what makes sense to me, what feels good to me, or what sparks an emotion of not feeling good and disagreeing. So yeah, he is right. Yo, this video is really good, man. It's really good.
searching for the familiar in the foreign, the recognizable in the
That sounded so white. This video is really good, man.
strange. But when art gives you too many specifics, there's no room for your own experience to live and thrive inside it. It's like when someone tells a story with too much detail, you zone out because there's no space left for you. And I struggled with this for a long time. I thought sharing personal details would simply equal relatability
You're in
until
my
I
world.
started thinking of art differently, as creating emotional containers. It's like this. Imagine emotion is water. If I pour my story water into a container shaped exactly like me, only people with nearly identical experiences can drink from it. But if
Yeah.
I shape the container around the universal emotion and universal experiences, anyone can pour their own story water into it. Anyone can drink and
Yeah. Oh my God. This guy is cooking. I wish I had a soundboard. Because think about it. He's right. Because like normally I can even to put this on myself, bro. My best videos on my channel where that have gone viral, that have got me the most recognition and people resonated the most were like universal videos that where anybody could relate to it. Anybody could jump onto it, like anybody. So that's true. Talk that, bro. I like this.
relate. The goal is to build containers for emotion, not an autobiography or a therapy session. You don't
People are so stuck up on telling their specific story that they forget that the best art is allowing anybody to put their story into it. Whenever you put your own story and your complete story into it, then it's hard for anybody else to add their own story to the story because it's like your story is hogging up all the canvas. Your story's all up in the mirror, so nobody else can see themselves because the mirror it's just you in the mirror. Shit, nigga. Damn, this is a really good video, bro.
create them for one person. You create them for everyone. When someone encounters your art, they're not trying to understand who you are in your life. They're looking for a feeling they recognize, something familiar in a new form, something to relate to. I realized this while reading about what Stan Lee did with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's mask wasn't meant to hide Peter Parker. It was a mirror. There were no visible facial features, no clues about who he was, no clues about his identity. The mask erased his identity so anyone could project themselves into the kids who were scared, insecure, bullied, or just different. All of them could be Spider-Man. And that's why so many kids loved him. Once I saw that, everything clicked. Now when I create something, I ask myself, what's the universal feeling here? How can I create a container for it without overfilling it with my personal details? That's how I make my art universal without overwhelming people. But here's the thing. Relatability alone isn't enough. I've seen relatable art people forget in 5 minutes. There's a specific reason for that. The addiction part is weird because it's not what you think. It's not about being more relatable. It's about being less complete. You know when you can't get a song out of your head or you keep thinking about a movie scene?
Like water, be formless, be shapeless. Like water. Allow yourself to bend to the situation that needs it. People get so caught up in our earthly identities. I'm this person, and I get caught up in all the time. I'm like, I'm this person, so boom, 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 boom. I won't do this, or I will do this, or boom, 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 boom. But be shapeless, be formless like water. Allow yourself to bend to whatever the situation calls for, whatever you feel like you need to do. Be that. Become the situation, become the art, become the story. Don't you aren't the story, but you have to become the story, become the art. Become the art. Okay, I like this, man. This guy is fudging cooking, bro.
For days, that's
Bleep
not
him.
random. Your brain hates unfinished loops, unresolved melodies, scenes that cut off early. Your brain wants to solve the mystery, to make sense of what was left unsaid. But most artists don't realize this. You can actually choose to leave your art unresolved. If you want people to keep thinking about your work, make it 80% complete. Let your audience finish the rest and let the idea itself do the work. I noticed this in my own videos. When I finally paid attention to what people rewatched, it wasn't the ones where I explained everything in detail. It was the videos where I presented an idea and left a little space. You give them the feeling, but not the meaning. You paint the emotion, but let them write their own story.
Yes. Okay, y'all. So, okay. So my most popular video, "The Art of Not Thinking," it has 190K right now. That video, I was talking about how, like, to get, I guess, get in a flow state, to find success, to find what you are in this life. You have to not think. Like, you don't think about what you are. You don't think about miracles. You don't think about the power of God. You allow it to happen over you. But by thinking, you stop this shit from coming to you, right? So that video resonated with people so much because, like, like, everybody's always overthinking it, and it's when they're not thinking that, like, the shit happens to them. So people could put themselves, and it helped that I used all these celebrities, but people could put themselves in the shoes of the message, because, like, it's a story of life. The art of waiting your turn. Yo, I've been waiting my turn for a very long time. In this video, was, you know, like, for a lot of people, they've been waiting their turn a lot too. And the people I showed that waited their turn, everybody could relate to, because these are like household names. Everybody could relate to waiting their turn with these guys, right? The Art of Being Yourself, right? J. Cole, bro. Like, people, J. Cole is himself. He was himself. The whole beef between the Drake Kendrick beef, he was himself, and he ultimately chose how he felt himself and his morals over what everybody else wanted. Yeah, this is facts. This is factual, bro.
The margins. You give people enough to recognize themselves in it, but you don't tell them what it
Who
all
they
means
are.
at first.
Yeah.
You let them come back.
Let them
and
think
discover
about
the
who they
answers.
are.
If you were so straightforward, they would never taste that cocktail of emotion for themselves.
Thriller doesn't tell Michael Jackson doesn't tell you to be a good person. Michael Jackson doesn't tell you to be a good person, but he makes you feel like you want to be a good person. Michael Jackson doesn't tell you, in one song, I guess he does that. He's bad, but Michael Jackson doesn't tell you he's the greatest of all time. He doesn't. But he makes you feel like he's the greatest of all time. He makes you feel like you could be the greatest of all time.
It's just
Gotta make
unsatisfying.
them feel
but
something.
the hardest part is finding this balance between clarity and mystery. Too much clarity, there's no tension. Too much mystery, people get confused and check out. The emotion in your art needs to be clear, but still, leave the meaning open. Everyone should feel what you're conveying, but they should also be moved to interpret it in their own way. It's like the difference between saying, this is what this means, and this is what this feels like. One closes the door, the other invites people in to explore and to relate. And here's something else. Perfect art often feels fake. Real life isn't perfect. Art with visible flaws, vulnerability, rough edges feels human. People trust broken things more than perfect ones because broken things remind us of ourselves. They show us where the light gets let in.
Yeah, it's like meeting a girl who's completely perfect and has never done no dirt. There's something off about her. Meeting a guy who's completely perfect, never done no, like, just no, there's something off. There's something off.
Needed. And that's part of the psychological loop too. People connect with the humanity in imperfections. Like when a singer's voice cracks, or you see brushstrokes in a painting, you feel the person behind the work, and that person's feelings might match your own. I used to obsess over making everything perfect, but now I leave in those human moments. The pause when I'm thinking, the stutter in my voice, the part where I don't really know how to explain something. Because those are the moments where people see themselves. Maybe the most relatable thing you can do is stop trying to relate. Maybe the deepest connection happens when you just get out of the way and let people connect with themselves through your work. Focus on creating
She's
emotional
pretty.
containers rather than oversharing personal stories or feelings. This is the shift that helps people feel closer to you and your art, not because they know your life story, but because you gave them space to recognize theirs and to see it in you. Honestly, we're all searching for the same thing. Not another person's story, but a way to understand our own and to be inspired even.
Yeah.
Someone once told me, art isn't about showing people your world. It's about giving them a key to unlock their own. And I think that's it. That's the whole thing. And
Top
now
that.
it's your turn to use it in your art.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face.
Yo. Art is not about showing people your world. It's about giving them the key to your own. Giving them the key to their own. This guy is really good, man. Really, yo, bro. Even though I don't know you, at least yet, very proud of this video, man. Very proud of you, bro. Yeah, this has a lot of potential to go very viral. It's a really good video, man. Yeah, y'all, I'm Alex Virgo. This is my second channel. Go check out my main channel where I kind of talk about topics similar to this somewhat. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'll see y'all. Peace, love.